between the ages of 12 to 14 years old, I got delved into the realm of caffeine, energy drinks, coffee, and etc. And I developed an addiction until probably when I was like 14 years old. Now, a couple years later, I've severely cut out my caffeine intake, and I want to teach you my experience, what I did wrong and right, and how you can quit caffeine so you can become healthier sooner and faster. Let's begin. First point, do not completely cut out caffeine from your life, because it's gonna first cause withdrawal, and second, it's just a recipe for disaster. When you've had an addiction developed, well, for me, I luckily managed to get rid of it at a very young age, and I actually developed it at a very young age, so if I didn't take the matters into my own hands any sooner, it would develop a lot worse. So anyway, here's what to do instead of just immediately cutting it out, because I know you want to, get rid of the grogginess, get rid of the unproductive days without caffeine, always feeling tired, fucked up sleep. I know you want to get rid of that as fast as possible. Trust me, I did too at that time. I couldn't go a morning without a Monster. I couldn't go a morning without coffee. Shots and shots after. I couldn't go without pre-workout. Trust me, I was in your boat, and I made the mistake of immediately cutting it out and just going back to it over and over again because I didn't know how to quit an addiction properly. So okay, I'll give you an example. So me, back when I was far addicted, I was having between 300 to 400 milligrams a day. Yes, I called that addicted because that's far beyond what a normal human should be having, not some societal standards. A couple monsters a day should be fine. No, I'm talking about actual healthy human. Like, one shot of coffee, if you've managed to have 8 to 9 hours of sleep, should be enough for you to get through the day. Obviously, not just get through the day, but boost your day, because you should be getting through the day very well if you are healthy. If you're not, before caffeine and shit, just start working out, becoming healthier, eating a better diet, and etc. You already know that. But just don't immediately cut it out. Start slowly lowering the doses. So I went from, let's say, 1 Monster a day to a coffee or 2. So I'm talking about the big monsters, like the ultra ones I'm showing you right here, right? So I started going from 1 or 2 of those a day, equivalent caffeine, to about one shot of coffee, maybe 2 shots of coffee per day, and that was significantly less. So after that, I went slowly into 1 shot, and this is over weeks and months. Yeah, you can do it however bad your severity of addiction is, but for me it took maybe 1 or 2 months to completely get rid of it. But now I have coffee about once or twice per week. And on to getting to the next point. Actually, there's no point in completely getting rid of caffeine. It can A, cause you to have a sharper brain. B, it increases dopamine during activities. So when you're working out and you do whatever, you have pre-workout before, you have a bit of caffeine. And I'm talking about a bit. I'm not talking about a dump truck load of it. I'm talking about 1 shot of coffee. If you have that, your dopamine is going to be high. You're not going to experience much crashing if you have a good amount of caffeine. Not too much, not too little either. And also, another benefit of coffee that I see personally in myself and a lot of other people is that it makes you shit a lot. Trust me, when you're having those days, those mornings where you can't shit, you just take 1 sip of coffee, 1 coffee, and then you start shitting like crazy. And that's a huge benefit I see from caffeine. So I'm not gonna stop it just for that. Coffee is very good. Monsters, Red Bull, all that shit is garbage for you, but pure coffee is amazing. So yeah, as I said before, there is no reason to completely get rid of caffeine, as it is quite beneficial for you. Some of the other benefits include reducing the risk of Parkinson's disease, obviously making you sharper, boosting your metabolism, just making your life altogether a lot more bearable. You see, life without caffeine and coffee is very miserable, but too much of it is crazy. So I met a bitch at the zoo. She was probably 20, 30, I couldn't tell, maybe even 40. But she was going like this. She was legit the Greg Doucette version of a woman. I told her where do I go to meet the fucking dinosaurs? So you gotta go straight there, and then turn left, and then turn right, and then turn to this way, and then turn into my pussy. You see, very sharp person. And then I asked her, how the fuck do you have so much energy, cunt? And then she was like, yeah, you Myron, bruh, I have 3 to 4 coffees a day. And I was like, whoa, that's a bit of caffeine. But after that, I went and had 1 shot of coffee. I felt normal because caffeine doesn't affect me much, but that was just a story. On to the next point. Point number 3. This is another great way to be able to decrease your tolerance to caffeine, because one thing that causes a big amount of caffeine addiction is caffeine tolerance. Caffeine tolerance is one of those things where it's just not good. You get tolerant to caffeine and then you want more and more and more of it because the same dose doesn't work. One way to prevent caffeine tolerance is to have caffeine infrequently. So let's say you have caffeine 7 times a day. So every day of the week you have caffeine. Here is what to do instead. So have it between 3, maybe 2 to 4 days per week. 2 at the not minimum, but you can have it up to 2 to 4 times per week. But anything more than that, you're gonna be getting dependent on the caffeine, and your tolerance is just gonna increase and increase. Just like how you can have spicy food, you eat more and more spicy food, you get used to it. Another example, you could be going to the gym, lifting the same weights. You're gonna get used to that weight, and if you don't progress, you're gonna stay small. Well, and then you're gonna, if you keep progressing in your caffeine addiction, you're gonna just get more tolerant to caffeine. You're technically getting stronger in your caffeine intake, but it's not really a good thing. And it's not a good thing because we want to be getting the most out of the least. So we want to be taking the least amount of caffeine and getting the most amount of benefits from it. By the way, sorry for the cuts and this fucking fucked voice I have. I'm very sick at the moment, but I'm still trying to get this video out for you guys as soon as possible. So sorry about that, and subscribe because I'm a fucking G. Lower the number of caffeine you have per week 3 to 4 times, maybe up to 2 to 4 times per week to decrease tolerance. And also another tip to save you from fucking sleeping until 12 a.m. because you can't fall asleep, save you from your insomnia. Don't have caffeine past 1 p.m. I personally don't have caffeine past 12 p.m. but I don't know your guys' schedules, I don't know your guys' life. Do whatever you want, but one rule of thumb is do not have caffeine past 1 p.m. A lot of people say 2. I like to be odd because I was always the weird kid. So I say don't have it past 1 o'clock. But personally, I do 12 o'clock. I don't have caffeine any time past 12. This is going to be a very cliche one. But get up to 8 to 9 hours of sleep per week. No, I'm kidding. Per day. Get up to 8 to 9 hours of sleep per day. Because one of the bad things about caffeine is people use it in order to replace their bad nights of sleep. Okay, I get it. You get 6 days of perfect sleep in a row, and then one day you get shit sleep, you're gonna need coffee. Yeah, I totally understand. But getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep every day and then waking up, oh, I need my coffee, bro, is not a fucking excuse for your shit undisciplined behavior, okay? You need to be getting between 8 to 9 hours of sleep per day. Sometimes I sleep fucking 10 hours because I'm this little fucking lazy cunt. And also I go gym, I work out, I'm like one of those bears that eat the honey and then goes and sleeps for fucking 12 years. I hibernate in bed. So get between 8 to 9 hours of sleep so you're not using caffeine to replace your sleep. And then that way you're gonna feel way more energized during the day, so you're not gonna need that caffeine in order to feel good. Get on a good sleep schedule that you can stick to even during the weekends. Fuck the plans, fuck everyone, fuck your girlfriend, fuck your family, fuck everything. Sleep, that's it. Sleep is one of the most important things, so get that in track, and that will automatically make you less inclined to want to have caffeine during your day. Also, a bonus tip here, have a clean and healthy diet. What does that mean? Try to cut out highly processed foods with a ton of added sugar in them, a lot of added seed oils. Those things are naturally going to reduce your hormones and fuck around with them a lot. So you're going to be getting a lot more tired. They're also going to be fucking up your gut health here. Your stomach, your gut health is very well linked to your brain, and the worse your diet is, the worse your health and your mental health is gonna be. They say the gut is the second brain, so make sure to be feeding your gut very well. Eat foods very rich in bacteria. I personally drink kefir milk, so we make it at home ourselves. We put the kefir grains you can fucking find anywhere, Facebook Marketplace or some shit, and then you grow that in your house. You have kefir or buy it in the supermarket. It's very good for your gut. A lot of healthy bacteria in it. or have kombucha, but it doesn't have anywhere even close to as much as kefir. Even Greek yogurt could work, or just any type of fermented yogurt. It'll say on the packaging. Any company with like benefits in their food, they're just gonna slap it on the fucking label. So look for high fermented, high in good bacteria yogurt or milk, just whatever. In conclusion, there is no need to get rid of caffeine altogether unless you got some fucking major heart problems and shit, like it really hurts your heart. Unless that's the case, there's no reason to get rid of caffeine altogether. Especially coffee has a ton of benefits that I mentioned earlier during the video. And yeah, I personally still consume caffeine at a very moderate level, and it helps me a lot be sharper throughout the day and more inclined to be productive. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and see you damn later.